Hello and welcome to Digital Transformation for Humans with your host, Amy. In this podcast, we delve into how technology intersects with leadership, innovation, and most importantly, the human spirit. Each episode features visionary leaders who understand that at the heart of success is the human touch, nurturing a winning mindset, fostering emotional intelligence, and building resilient teams. Today, we are going to talk about cultivating a culture of innovation, leadership strategies for expansion. Andy Boutle, head of digital construction at ALEC, a large construction company in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, is our expert guest today. Welcome, Andy. It's so great to have you in this studio.
Thank you for having me, Emmy. Looking forward to the discussion.
Let's start the conversation and transform not just our technologies, but our ways of thinking and leading. If you are interested in connecting or collaborating, find more information in the description. Subscribe and stay tuned for more episodes. Andy, to start our conversation, please tell us a few words about yourself, your journey, your experience. We are so curious about all that.
Sure. Quick background then. Started working in the UK. That's where I've spent most of my career until coming out here 2.5 years ago, or just over. Started in a manufacturing business and I'd say 4 years later, then moved into construction, working for M&E contractors or subcontractors in a sort of project engineering, project management roles. Did that for a few years and then ended up working for a big multidisciplinary design practice in the UK for a number of years. That was when actually the BIM started to suddenly hit and expand in the UK and generating a lot of interest and direction. So I was quite lucky. The role I was doing at the time, working with CAD management and engineering, it naturally led me into that path. And then after really connecting with the whole vision of what BIM can do for industry, it's about collaboration, it's about working with data, it's about effectively managing information. That really excited me, and I felt like I'd found my path. And then worked my way up the ladder, I guess, working for big contractors in the UK in different BIM specialist roles. Spent 4 years, just over 4 years at Kier, was my last company before moving out here as in a head of BIM role. So sort of looking at business strategy for digital as well as implementation. And then find myself now working at ALEC in a similar role, head of digital construction, working with some really talented people and on some pretty impressive projects. So yeah, really nice place to be.
Sounds amazing. And reflecting on the expansive growth of the digital construction sector in Dubai, how does this align with the broader vision for innovation in the region? And what are the differences between your previous experience and your experience in Dubai?
Good question. I mean, I guess so. I mean, Dubai is visionary as an emirate anyway, and has been. Obviously the progression over the last 20, 30 years is just unrivaled. I think in areas, we're coming from the UK and what I do, there were some things that were probably a little bit behind, other things are ahead, but certainly in terms of the vision, certainly the government has here is pretty impressive. And innovation, digital transformation is being driven from all areas, I guess. There's earlier in the year, the Dubai government published a metaverse strategy document positioning by 2030 Dubai in one of the top 10 metaverse economies in the world, generating, I think it's something like 40,000 new jobs and roles in that area. Off-site manufacturing, modular construction is something we've been pushing for a while. I think the appetite for that's starting to get realised here. Just last week, there was a Dubai municipality published a paper on 3D printing in construction, some guidelines and best practice. It's very much been driven by public sector and private sector So yeah, quite a cool place to be at the moment in the industry.
So impressive. And the times we are living in, it is incredible. Imagine the metaverse economy and all those solutions. It is absolutely unbelievable how the world is going to change in the coming 5 to 10 years. It's not
Yeah.
going to be the same life.
These things that are still, yeah, they're visionary. It generates excitement, but in terms of tangible use cases, we're still exploring that as an industry. But yeah, it certainly generates the appetite and the want to try and find new ways of doing things, which is nice.
True, true. But one step at a time,
Mm.
and you are coming there because it is impossible to move too fast when you are talking about the innovation and all those relevant use cases
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you can just jump on everything what everybody else is doing with the technology. You have to apply it to exactly your objectives and goals, right?
And again, there's one thing looking inside one organization, but of course there's a huge supply chain that delivers and realizes projects. So there's a multitude of other businesses you have to work with. So and the capability and capacity has to be kind of aligned. So there's challenges in the depth of the supply chain. So small to medium enterprises, large companies obviously have different levels of maturity and internal expertise. So yeah, it's quite a complex industry to try and get things working as well as they can be, I guess, which is where collaboration comes in and working together, I guess.
Hmm, I agree. And we came to my question, $1 million question. How do you foster an innovative mindset within your team? Speaking about collaboration and working with innovations, how do you do that? I'm sure that it is going to be helpful for everybody who is watching us now or listening to this interview.
So I mean, I've got quite an easy answer for that, and probably quite lucky in my team because one, I guess the roles we do as digital construction or BIM specialists, we're constantly looking at the latest ways of work, and we're the ones trying to help our colleagues and the teams around us to follow the latest technologies and processes. And so naturally, if you're in that kind of role, then you're probably naturally quite innovative, and you're open to exploring new ways of working. Also, we have it quite easy in ALEC in that we've got innovations actually one of our core values in the business, and we've got a very mature innovation department who have a framework where any employee can submit an idea. We call them bright ideas. They'll get then, depending on the topic of the idea, it will then get passed through to a small committee. And if it's voted through the committee, then it will get funding, project management, and we'll do some prototyping and then implement, and then if successful, scale. So quite fortunate that we've got quite a mature innovation team and framework in the business. So it actually makes it quite easy to innovate and foster that mindset. It's part of our DNA, part of the culture in the business.
It sounds so good. And I'm sure that many companies and many leaders are still dreaming about coming to that place where innovation is taken seriously and all the good ideas are applied, and one day they're seeing the light of the day.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've never worked for especially main contractors. That was something new for me to see that level of maturity, innovation, and actually being driven from top down in terms of culture and encouraged. Because we should be following sort of minimum standards, operating procedures, but everyone's encouraged to innovate around those. So yeah, in that regard, it makes it quite easy and exciting place to work. So we're lucky. Other businesses I work for that wouldn't exist. So I guess it has to start from right at the top to set the vision and the culture, and then the team of employees and staff have to then embrace that and try and realize it.
Such an amazing real life inspiration case. Just to remind that yes, such companies exist, and such companies are leading innovation and change on the market and in the world. And it just boils down to the leadership. So
Yeah.
let's talk about leadership. What leadership strategies have proven most effective in encouraging this creative problem solving and innovation among your team members?
Don't think I struggle with sort of, I don't think there's a strategy. Again, it's just having that the mindset to be able to embrace and test new things and be supported to do it. There's the fail fast slogan mentality. People need to be supported to be able to try new things, and some of them are going to fail. Not everything succeeds, does it? So being able to encourage failing fast, learning from lessons, and then trying something again based on that learning is pretty fundamental, I think. Problem solving, again, so having challenges. Every business has its challenges, and I think being able to identify what those challenges are, and then motivate working groups to work on those challenges internally is something that's typically quite successful. Again, something that's done in our business and in my previous business that works quite well. Also incentivizing, I guess, and it could be monetary incentivization, or it could be just supporting and giving people credit for doing good work and doing different work that may be outside of their usual day job, but they're willing to put the effort and energy into solving a problem or thinking about doing something a different way. So I think there's not one answer to that, but there's various methods that can work.
All your suggested methods are so good and they're super impactful and efficient. So it's just great to keep in mind that you have to be creative, you have to adjust and be flexible.
Yeah.
Andy, could you please provide some examples of how emotional intelligence and soft skills have played a role in leading your team through digital transformation challenges? Because
Mm.
oftentimes leaders and companies are focusing on the technologies, on the technical side of things, while the human side of things is also, or maybe even more important, and the
So,
processes behind, they have
yeah.
to be in place. So please share your experience around that and your vision about what really matters.
For sure, yeah. I mean, you're exactly right. The human part, the people part, is the most important with any of these things. And on a mic, it's applied at all levels, isn't it? Like, thinking about implementing BIM on a project, with specialists who are there to try and upskill the, whether it's other organisations working as part of the supply chain, or it's your internal teams and disciplines and departments. You're trying to influence people to work in a subtly different way, or dramatically different way to they're used to. So being the most brilliant technical person in different softwares or a specific software, but if you haven't got the necessary people skills to sit and understand someone who may instantly say, no, I don't want to do this. I've been doing this for years. I've been in my career for 30 years. I know how to do things. Who are you to tell me to do something different? And it's being able to sort of handle those different personalities and again, try and put yourself from the user's perspective, the person you're trying to influence. Well, what maybe they've got a very good reason to push back on something. Maybe they had a really bad experience with a bit of software there that was forced on them 2 years ago, and so the barriers are up. So yeah, those soft skills and being able to just communicate effectively with different people, different personalities is definitely probably for me that's more important than having the knowledge of certain standards or technologies. All of that stuff can be learned. Some of the other softer skills probably can't be, or they can be, but not probably not as easily. So I think someone who's trying to affect change the most important skills are to have that empathy and softer skills and communication skills rather than technical.
I totally agree. And yes, it takes time to learn them, and they are laying on a completely different level. So,
Yeah,
for technical people, I see sometimes it becomes a little bit more challenging to go
yeah,
into the soft world, and something what doesn't reflect in the same way in terms of KPIs and hard business results,
exactly.
but
Yeah,
still it is crucial. And if you need some help with that, of course, I would be happy to take a conversations with you so that you can get my help, support. And it's just a kind reminder that I've been on the technical side of things, on the hard side of things, and I know and I see how important it is to apply the
mm,
softer skills and emotional intelligence and empathy, exactly as you mentioned, Andy, to all those processes and to the business in order to make it work and prosper.
and the other thing I'd agree. The other thing I'd add is for like thinking about my team now who are on projects doing that work, trying to implement on the project and convince people to embrace certain workflows, technologies. Just from their side, they need to, you have to have a resilience because you're going to get so many disappointments along the way. And then now and again, you'll get a success because someone goes, Joe, actually, what you've just shown me is really good and it's helping me to do my job. And that's always what kept me in this sort of path of my career because those moments are worth all of the pain and the frustration. So, yeah, you have to be very perseverant and resilient as a character to keep pushing these new ways of working and try and get those around you to follow effectively what you're trying to embed.
Thank you for reminding about the importance
Yeah,
of
you've been there
resilience.
as well, I'm sure. Yeah,
It is definitely so needed. Resilience, adaptability,
mm,
and clarity as well. Because without those, you are not going to reach your results. And
yeah.
it's a
And
long
the
game.
language you use as well, isn't it? I mean, we're what we do is just filled with so much technical jargon, and it's very easy to just start talking in acronyms to people. But you have to just keep it simple language, plain language, and then that will resonate far better than bombarding people with technical jargon who don't really care or want to know what it means.
That's so true, you know, and I have a specific a couple of slides in my masterclass exactly on the communication for tech people, that the technical jargon is not something what is going to always help you connecting with people
Yeah,
and working in a more efficient way. So it is important to understand who you are talking to and what are the definitions and the exact words that person understands, uses, and can connect on with you so that you can create that closer collaboration and more impactful, more efficient processes.
yeah, completely.
And with the rapid pace of technological development and evolving human behaviors, speaking about those humans and
Mm.
communication, what are the latest trends and challenges, and of course, the opportunities in leadership from your perspective?
I guess the trends we touched on it at the start, didn't we, in terms of technology and AI, metaverse, digital twinning, all of these new things and buzzwords and developments that are happening. Um, Obviously, yeah, we have to, and I think what we were just saying, isn't it, about the language used and then explaining those things in business context, in business language, that for those that in your companies that well, it's almost a translation, I guess, isn't it, to practical use cases where you need to actually identify something that's tangible to go for, or whatever that use case is. So that's really important. And the challenges are actually identifying those things in the first place, I think, and then actually creating the space for people, teams to actually explore and experiment and test these things. I think we mentioned earlier as well. There's so much software out there now. You're absolutely swimming in a sea of software and multiple different technologies that do very similar things. So just trying to work your way through those and find technologies that will work for your business. And do they, if it's software, does it integrate with another platform for the parts that could be useful where appropriate? And trying to map your way through all of that journey is very, very challenging. And with the always thinking about the end user, who are we expecting to use this? I may think it's brilliant in my role, but the guys that are gonna and girls that are gonna use it on the project site. So you have to keep thinking about usability. Is it something that a user is going to want to pick up, and is it easy for them to use? Is the interface nice? It can be something as simple as that. I've had in the previous few years ago where we were trying to deploy a system, and the actual technology in the background was fantastic at what it could do, but if it didn't actually look and feel nice for that first person who logs in to use it, then that you've instantly lost them. If they can't, if it doesn't sit with them nicely to start with, it could be the best technology in the background, but you're not going to get the users, so therefore it's pretty useless. So many challenges in that regard. Absolutely.
I agree.
There. I've got a bit of attention, but yeah.
I so agree with you. And to wrap up today's amazing conversation, I'm enjoying it so much. I'd like to keep you here much longer, but it's time to wrap up. So, what is one piece of advice on leading successful digital transformation you would like to share today?
I think never take your eyes off the basics, the foundation, because it's so tempting to keep looking at what can we do next, but if that foundation, if those basics aren't in place and working as well as they can be, then you need to build off that. So that would probably be my one piece of advice. And in the context of thinking again when we're discussing about BIM, digital twinning, smart cities, etc. We must come back to getting that information right, the data right, because if it's not right, then all of these other cool things that leverage off that won't be effective.
100%. And your advice is so valuable because it is so easy to just look in front of you and run faster and try to speed up and boost everything. And now with the AI possibilities and everything what it offers, I can see oftentimes, even on LinkedIn, the content is all about boosting your processes, speeding up, running faster. But what is the foundation and what I'm running after, and how much time I put in into thinking about the consequences and outcomes and how it can impact the future and sustainability of your development and growth, and what are going to get in the very end of all those implementations. So that's really important to keep in mind, that the foundation needs to be strong. Otherwise, the best possible construction is going to crash.
Agree. And again, it's about your people, isn't it, as well? So without the people, the transformation won't come. So they must be supported and celebrated.
Yes. So please, to everybody who is listening to us and watching us today, don't forget to support and celebrate your people. Thank you so much, Andy, for this fantastic interview. It was such a great pleasure to have you here today.
Pleasure's mine. Thanks, Emmy.
Thank you for joining us on Digital Transformation for Humans. I'm Amy, and it was enriching to share this time with you. Remember, the core of any transformation lies in our human nature, how we think, feel, and connect with others. It is about enhancing our emotional intelligence, embracing a winning mindset, and leading with empathy and insight. Subscribe and stay tuned for more episodes where we uncover the latest trends in digital business and explore the human side of technology and leadership. Until next time, keep nurturing your mind, fostering your connections, and leading with heart.